In The Sopranos, we follow the life of New Jersey mob boss Tony Sorpano while he runs his glorified crew, consisting of the likes of Bobby Bacala, Silvio Dante and Paulie Gualtieri. Tony goes through many tribulations, faces off against many adversaries, and we get to a stage where at the end of season 6, Tony is in the middle of a war with the New York Lupertazzi crime family, run by Phil Leotardo. By this point in the season, Tony has already murdered Christopher, Bobby has been killed, and Silvio has been shot by Lupertazzi goons and is in a coma, with it being heavily implied that he will never wake up. Tony's crew is at its bare bones, in part due to a failed hit attempt on Phil Leotardo where they got the wrong man, meaning Tony's crew were duped into a false sense of security, hence the likes of Bobby, who thought the war was over, being murdered. In the Blue Comet, the penultimate episode of the show, Tony goes with his crew to a safehouse to lay low while the war rages on. As the men make their way into the home and put their bags down, eagle-eyed viewers may notice that there is a bizarre rendition of Silvio Dante in the background, something which literally nobody in the room acknowledges. Like, what the heck? What is that supposed to be? A ghost maybe? An acknowledgement that Silvio has actually died and he is now a ghoulish spirit, forever stuck in his signature pose and grimace? The Sopranos isn't afraid to dabble in the supernatural. There are numerous instances of spooky ongoings in the show, such as Pussy appearing in a mirror after his death, or the psychic who somehow managed to reference murders Paulie committed years ago. And this may be such an instance, an indication that Silvio has crossed over. On closer inspection though, it appears to be a life-sized cardboard cutout of Silvio, which doesn't help at all because that's even weirder. Just what is a cardboard Silvio doing in a safe house? Was it left there by the showmakers by accident in the background of a shot? Is it part of some kind of promotional material for The Sopranos? Did the series creators put it there just to mess with audiences during this uncertain time in the show's story? It kind of reminds me of that story of Three Men and a Baby, the 80s film where there is apparently a ghost of a little boy standing in the background of a shot who is supposed to have been murdered in the apartment where the scene was shot. This rumour was fake news apparently, as the scene was shot on a soundstage and the boy is actually a cardboard cutout, with the prop later being used in the movie. So a simple error then, perhaps, and that's possibly what's going on here with the appearance of Silvio. But he is in more than one shot, and since we can assume multiple takes were done and there are numerous actors in this scene, someone surely must have noticed it, so it must have been left there intentionally. I've heard that this was supposed to be the people behind the show's way of giving Silvio a present in this scene, as one of the original Sopranos crew members, without him actually being there, as it of course isn't possible with Silvio in a coma. In essence, he is with the crew in spirit. Or it could be a ghostly reminder that if Silvio isn't dead, he might as well be, and it's a fate looming, waiting for everyone else in the room, Tony included, who later goes upstairs and thinks about a line Bobby said about not even hearing it when it happens, it being, of course, being murdered. It's a good juxtaposition seeing this version of Silvio full of life, for the lack of a better word, when the real Silvio is in one of the worst states a person can be in. Personally though, I think the answer is actually quite simple. I think this is a cutout of Silvio that exists in universe, and it's part of promotional material for the Bing, which is of course owned by Silvio. There appears to be other materials lying around, what look like posters of strippers and stuff, which adds weight to this theory. But it's pretty weird that Silvio, being a mobster, would be used for marketing purposes. Mobsters usually like to keep a low profile, but the cutout suggests that maybe Silvio is a well-known figure in the neighborhood, maybe even a low-key Newark celebrity. And his owning of the Bing is not only known, but something publicized. Maybe Silvio is actually a lot more of an extroverted mobster than we thought, much like his hero Joe Colombo, both of whom share a pride in defending Italian-American heritage. Maybe he wants it known that he, as an Italian-American, owns this prestigious establishment. So why do you think there is a cutout of Silvio in this scene? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.